Solve the absolute value of 3 minus x equals the absolute value of x minus 3. Again, we're going to split this up like we've done the last couple of problems. And again, we're going to see something interesting happen here. So let's split this up. The first equation we would get is 3 minus x equals x minus 3. And then or, the second equation we would get is 3 minus x equals the opposite of x minus 3. Now let's solve each of these and see what we get. For this first one, we have x's on both sides. So I'm going to add x to both sides to get rid of that negative x on the left. This gives us 3 equals 2x minus 3. We can now add 3 to both sides to get the 2x alone, giving us 6 equals 2x. And if we divide both sides by 2, we end up with 3 equals x. So that's our first solution. Now for the other one, we're going to have to distribute this negative out front. So that's going to be 3 minus x equals the opposite of x plus 3, because a negative times a negative is a positive. Now, to get rid of this negative x, we can add x to both sides. And in this case, that leaves us with 3 on the left and also 3 on the right. Now, we know that 3 is equal to 3. Doesn't matter where we are or what day of the week it is. This is always true. And it doesn't actually matter what the value of x is. This is always going to be true. And so what we're going to say here is all real numbers. And we are only going to circle all real numbers for our answer. We don't need to circle or box in x equals 3 because 3 is included in real numbers. So we don't have to say x could be any number or it could be 3 because we're already including 3 when we say x could be any number. And if you want to check to see how this works, you can pick a number to plug in and see what you get. Let's pick x equals 14. I hope that's a random enough one for you. Let's check x equals 14. We're saying that all real numbers are solutions, and 14 is a real number, so that should hopefully work. If we plug this in, we get the absolute value of 3 minus 14 equals the absolute value of 14 minus 3. Now, 3 minus 14 is negative 11, and 14 minus 3 is positive 11. And we know that both 11 and negative 11, when we take the absolute value, we get 11. So we get 11 on both sides, and it checks out. In fact, the way that this equation is set up, 3 minus x and x minus 3 are opposite expressions. So these are already opposites of each other. And so it doesn't matter what we plug in for x. We're going to end up with opposites on the inside. And we know that when we take the absolute value of two opposite numbers, we end up with the same answer. So in this case, any number we could plug in for x, and it would give us a true equation. So our answer is all real numbers.